Hey, good night, my people. What's up? Hope and trust that all is good. Today is what? Tuesday? Today's Tuesday? Yeah. Tuesday, the 24th day of March, 2026, and the time right now is 10:21 p.m. And I got in this evening, took a shower, watching a little basketball, listening to the radio, and I heard a portion of a show I was listening to, and a comment was read which was ascribed to my friend Fred. It kind of got me, what I heard kind of got me upset. And I was upset from early in the day. By the way, I spoke to Fred. I went out more and called Fred, and we had a conversation. Um, Early in the day, I was listening to this guy on an Observer, Voice of the People, and I heard him. He made a comment, and that had got my blood boiling. But I said I wasn't going to say nothing, but I think I need to say something for the record. You see, sometimes when you do this, like what we do, what I do get on the radio and now through these recordings, it gets frustrating at times sometimes. But I'm reminded that somebody has to do it, one. And my hope is that whatever little knowledge I'm able to impart, that it sticks along the way. Hopefully with the younger generation, because we did not get to where we are in Antigua and Barbuda just like that. We didn't follow the sky. A lot of sacrifices were made by our forefathers and our foremothers. And I take those sacrifices very seriously. Very, very seriously. People who know me know that. I don't play with that when it comes to that. Um, People gave their lives for some of the benefits that we have today, you know? And I think I have a duty to try to pass on to the younger generation these sacrifices so that they can, or a portion of them hopefully, can appreciate the shoulders upon who the persons are that they stand and they live, you know? It's two things I say, and I don't make no apologies for it. Sometimes people try to box in a corner. They say, "Oh, you think you know everything," and blah blah blah. Two things I make no apologies for. Not much people in this country can talk to me about insurance. And not much people in this country can talk to me about labor relations. Whoever feel that's boast, you know what? I really don't care. That's just the facts. And that is why when I hear some things and I know the history, why I believe it's my duty to try to set the record straight. You know? What's my name here? His name is George Santayana. I guess this was attributed to him. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. The article or the comment that Fled made his comment under, it's an article on the Antigua Newsroom page. The article is captioned, Breaking Long-Serving UPP Member Desmond Charles Resigns. And the reason why I'm telling you all where to go, because I would expect that you all will go and look at the whole article and the comments. So I want to let you know where it is. But I'm not going to be dealing with the entire comment, and just a part I'm going to deal with. And I respect that everybody has a right to his or her opinion. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. When I was being trained, when I was on Voice of the People, one thing I was drilled into me was that everybody have an opinion. Doesn't necessarily have to be consistent with what my opinion is. But if you hear somebody saying something that you know is wrong, it's your duty to set the record straight. That's your duty as a host. The paragraph that I want to first look at from Fled's contribution reads as such, and I'm going to go slow. I'm gonna go slow because I have a tendency to speed up when I get upset, And I'm not upset at Fled or the individual. I'm just speaking to what came out. Mr. Pringle is a good person. Don't get me wrong. But for such a time as this, he's not ready. I am now more convinced that the ALP had a hand in his recent decision to rescind his agreed decision to turn over the leadership in the interest of the party/country. He himself said they can't raise any money from the business community because of the unity. So why would you want to be there then? Is this about ego or a bigger picture at play with your financial closeness to senior ALP persons? The part that I want to key in on is this sentence. He himself, that is Mr. Pringle, he himself said they can't raise any money from the business community because of the unity. Well, maybe should have been disunity within the party, as the business people say. I take exception to that. I take exception to that sentence. And if what Mr. Pringle say here is true, if Mr. Pringle goes to a business person and the business person says to Mr. Pringle, because of what's happening in your party, I'm not satisfied with the leadership of the party. So I'm not going to contribute to your party. I don't know how in the world I don't tell that person, that business man or woman, to go do what with themselves. I don't know how I don't tell them that. I don't know how I don't tell them that. Where does the business community get off on believing that they decide the leadership structure of any political party? Where do they get off with that? If you don't want to contribute, just say not contributing. Just say not contributing. And I would have heard other radio personality with that same crap. That the business community say they're not gonna do this because of the leadership. Who the hell gives the business community the right? If my memory serves me correct, during the UPP time, the same business community didn't pay the tax when all of us had to pay our tax. Who the hell do they think they are? Who do they think they are? Let me go now to this gentleman from the Voice of the People. This is what he said. Before we get to this, we want to bring this into reality because we have had opportunities. We have really had opportunities to mobilize ourselves, and the reality is at this point, and I'm speaking with all sincerity now, let me just pause. At some point, we have to wake up and we have to be real and we have to be honest. At some point, I hear this talk about if you're supporting the party, you're supporting the party. Yes, I understand that. I hear that if you put a dog there and you put it in blue or you put it in red, I will support it. I hear that. Hear this thing. While we talk at this level, and you have your diehard supporters, that's one thing. But talk doesn't win elections. Talk doesn't pay for the plywood that goes at the side of the street. Talk doesn't pay for your manifesto and your t-shirts, your paraphernalias. Talk doesn't pay for all those things that are required. You know who picks up that bill? Us, the business sector, that we go to and ask for the support. Now, how do you stand behind a party and you want to sign a check for $1 million, $500,000, 200,000, 50,000? How do you just write a check from your hard-earned money if you do not feel that the representation is adequate? And I think that is the core issue that a lot of us overlook. The business community, quite a bit, look at their hard-earned money and say, I'm not comfortable. But do we listen to them? No. And the people who contribute the least financially make the most noise about it. The people who contribute least financially make the most noise about it. So what is he saying? What is he saying? Look, when Stanford told Lester Bird, Sir Lester Bird, much respect. When Stanford told Sir Lester Bird about 24 hours or 48 hours, I was in Barbados on vacation. And when I heard it, I came back to Antigua the next day. I came back to Antigua the next day. I hear a lot of people say, oh, Lester Bird this and Lester Bird that, because Stanford said this, and I think it's 40 hours now, or 24 hours, whatever it was. And Lester Bird said if he didn't say that, he would have done it. And we criticize Lester Bird. What is he saying here? What is this man from Voice of the People saying here? What is the business community saying different to Stanford? What? What did they say? Yes, a businessman have a right, or a businesswoman have a right to say, I'm not supporting the party there. I don't have a problem with that. But where the hell does the business community get off trying to dictate leadership of political parties? Huh? Where the hell? Why do we accept that? Why do we accept that? Well, what am I hearing here? For this gentleman, you know, I have to laugh. I have to laugh. Because you see, as the backdrop says, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Right? I wonder if this guy is knowledgeable as to what existed in Antigua or on Antigua and Barbuda pre-1951. I wonder if you know. I wonder if you know. I wonder if you know. I wonder if you know before 1951, right, that a voter eligibility was tied to owning property of a certain value or paying specific taxes, making it nearly impossible for native residents to participate in electoral process. I wonder if you know that. And I wonder if you know the fight that our forefathers and foremothers had leading up to 1951 when universal suffrage was brought to Antigua. And if you don't understand what universal suffrage is, that is the right of all adults to vote regardless of property ownership. What if you know that? What if you know what that really means? For no one could tell me some ignorance about business people. Whether use indecent language or foul language on these recordings. But I'm not far from it. When I hear them crap. If I'm running for politics and any business person introduce that kind of conversation to me, I'm tell them where their mother getting it from. People, know your history. Understand how we get to where we get to. How we got here. The sacrifices our foreparents made. What they went through. Get an understanding of that. Hear this man attack. Wait. You know who picks up that bill? Us, the business sector. Yeah? So when the family, as they say, have so much clout over a particular government administration, that's right. Yeah? So we want to go back to the money class directing the part for down at the bottom. Yeah? Oh boy. My people, rest well, and have a good night. Bless up.